Hi everybody, it's Christina and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how I set up a card cut that I'm going to have a whole separate video for. It'll be linked below in the YouTube description and at the end of this video if you want to check it out. It's how I assembled the project. But for this video I'm going to show you how I set it up on my Cricut Explore Design Space program to be cut out of my Cricut Explorer. So these are the basic things that I used. My cuts all come from the Small Talk Frames and Tags cartridge, which is an absolutely adorable cartridge and would be great for making shaker cards. But let me go ahead and start a new file, and I want to show you how I set this up to work on my card. So I'm just going to go up here to where it says File, and I am going to start a new file. And the first thing I always like to do is I like to set a canvas for my card. So I'm going to go to where it says Set Canvas as soon as this is done loading. And I'll go ahead and select the card canvas so that I can use that as my template when I am setting up my design. I'm going to now insert my image, and I'm going to do a search for the cartridge called Small Talk Frames and Tags. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all image sets and then do Small Talk. And you'll see it, anything that has the word talk in it shows up here on our list. But this first one right here, which is the Small Talk Frames and Tags cartridge, I'm just going to go ahead and select that, and it's going to go ahead and open up. And you can see there's tons of great images in here, so I went ahead and selected a bunch of different things. The first thing I looked for was my frame, and I want the frame that has the little heart and arrows down at the bottom. So there's my frame that has the heart and arrow at the bottom. I also want this "You Are Loved," and there's also some hearts in here. So I just picked one of the hearts. I think it was this one here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click it, and you'll see now they're all at the very bottom. So everything I want to use for this card is lined up right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit Insert Image. So now what it does is it just lays everything out on here for me, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to be sizing my frame so that it'll fit on the front of my card. So I just drag it at the corner, make it the height that I want, and then I'm probably going to have to kind of squeeze this in a little bit so that it's not quite as wide. So that'll be my frame. And you can see right on the side here, always look at your layers palette. It shows you that for this frame there's two layers. There's the front layer, which is this pink part right here, or orange, whatever you want to call that. And then there's the back layer, which is the more of a yellow color. Then I have my "You Are Loved," which is, I'm going to actually size that up later. I have my little heart here, and I'm not going to be using both pieces of this heart. There's the, let me ungroup these. If you select your image, right click and ungroup, it breaks it apart. So there's a darker and then there's a lighter version of that. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off one of them and then just use one of those cuts. I like to, let's see, I'm going to just grab at the corner here and kind of stretch this out, and I know I'm going to lay this so that it's on my frame in the corner. And then my "You Are Loved" is going to actually go right down at the bottom. I have it selected. I'm going to hit the arrange and then use this last one here that says move to front, and then actually be able to move it right on the front so you can see where it's at. So I'm not going to change the size of that one at all, but I am going to get another one of these hearts. So I'm going to select the heart, right click, copy, then right click again and hit paste. And then this heart is actually going to be made a little bit smaller, and I'm going to use this one so it pops out underneath my frame of my card. So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually make these so I can cut them all out on one piece or one Cricut mat. So I'm going to go over here where it says Sync in the upper right hand corner, and I'm just going to take all of these pieces, and I'm going to start at the bottom. I'll do the "You Are Loved," and I'm just dragging them up on top of each other, and you'll see a little gray box appears. When that appears, that's when you know you can go ahead and start pulling it up. So now everything's going to cut out on one mat, so everything's the same color now. And the next thing you do is hit go, and you'll go ahead and cut this all out. Now I'm not gonna cut this out because I already did that already, but you can go ahead and move your images around so that you can place your pattern paper or cardstock wherever you want on your mat. I'm going to close this and head back over to the one I already made. And I'm not going to save this one because I want to give you the dimensions that I did on the first one. Okay, so this is the actual images that I went ahead and cut out, and I wanted to give you the dimensions on everything so that you know if you're setting this up and you just want to go ahead and do this real quick. I'll just tell you what the dimensions are. The smaller heart, I cut it out at 1.14 by 1.28. The larger heart was 1.7, 1.9. The You Are Loved, I left at the original, so it was 1.78, 1.1 for the height. And then my frames, I actually kept these grouped together while I was doing it, so the only thing you need to do is make sure they're grouped together. And you're going to do a width of 3.9 and a height of 4.78. Just remember when there's layers and you're doing everything to be so that all of the parts work together, you want to make sure everything is grouped together and not done separately, because then you have to try to figure out which is which. Easier just to keep them grouped together and do the measurements all at one time. Same thing with this You Are Loved. It is in 2 pieces. And if I went ahead and separated them and went to drag this one, then I would have to try to figure out what to measure this one at. Easier just to keep them all together. I'm just going to hit undo so that everything is back where it was. I'm going to select them both, right click, hit group, and then you could just drag at the corner. Or you can use your layers or your size edit option over here to change the size. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will link at the end of this video the process video for how I put this card together. If you like today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to my channel. In the upper right hand corner, you'll see the link to the video where I show how to put this card together using the cuts from the small talk frames and tags cartridge. And then I also have a link to the basic Design Space video that I did not too long ago that shows you some of the basics for how to use the design program. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.